guys, it's Allie. As you probably know by now, you are watching a 360-degree ASMR video. At the beginning of this video, you should have seen a little info screen that describes how to navigate around this video so that you can view it in 360 degrees. But in case you skipped it, I'll just briefly go over it again. If you're on a mobile phone, you should be able to just physically move your phone up and down, left to right, and that should change the view for you so you can look all around. You should also be able to just use your finger on the screen to navigate. And if you're on a desktop, you should just be able to use your mouse by clicking and dragging to look all around. So I do invite you to try it. Look over there, look over there. You can look down at my shoes. You should be able to see all around you in 360 degrees. So, many of you know this is actually my third 360-degree ASMR video. The first one was the keys, a collaboration I did with Maria, Gentle Whispering, and Heather Feather. And with that one, a challenge with that was that we had to be really far away from the camera. If we got too close, there would be weird lines and stitching errors. So we were very limited with how close we could get. And in my second 360 video, the .com sort of sci-fi one, I was actually placed into a CG 360 environment, kind of on a screen. So what's cool about this camera is that it fixes a lot of those challenges. I can be really here in live action rather than on a screen in a CG environment, and I can also get up very, very close, which is good for ASMR, as you know. The one downside, I guess, to my setup now is that it is just 1080p, whereas generally 4K is really the minimum quality that you want to have for a really, really immersive 360 experience. But that said, this camera is very, very user-friendly, and it allows me, or it will allow me, to make content like this often and quickly, which is good for YouTube. And with that being said, my team, the PixelWhipt team, we are not just going to be limiting ourselves to any one camera device. Like this one, we are definitely going to be experimenting with a wide array of different devices like this one in varying degrees of video quality. So you can expect to see an improvement in the quality of my 360 video as our progress continues. So that's a little bit about that. What you're looking at right now is an enclosure that I actually, with my boyfriend, built inside of my dedicated shooting space, my studio. And it's built with tripods and bed sheets. This is kind of like a fort in a way, sort of advanced fort. And it's lit with some external lighting outside of the enclosure, and also these lantern ball lights that you see around you. And the reason I wanted to make a little enclosure for this video rather than just setting it up and showing you my whole studio is that with 360 you can literally see everything, so you guys would probably be a little overwhelmed with all of the stuff that's going on in my studio. So I just wanted to keep it visually very simple for this first initial simple test video. So that's what I'm going to be doing today, is just kind of a test video to test out this camera. This is the first time I've really used it, and in order to do that I'm just going to be doing some regular ASMR triggers, mostly stuff you're used to, except I'm going to be doing it all around you. I've got my neat little basket of goodies down there. If you kind of pan down, you can see it on the floor. First thing I'll be doing is some gentle brushing of the lens and my ear microphone. I am using my normal audio setup today, so that's no different. So I'll be doing some brushing, and then I'm going to burn my sage smudge stick that is left over from the herb shop roleplay. A lot of people liked that, so I'm going to do that all around you. Okay, and then I have kind of a scratchy slash sloshy sounding item that I'll show you. Get some nice sounds with that. And then I'm going to be doing something after that that's a little bit weird and different. I have cool, weird material that I'm going to be sprinkling around the floor in a circle, and I'm going to be walking on it for crunching sounds. Just as kind of a sound experiment in 360. And then finally, at the end of the video, I'll just do some follow the light exercises with a little flashlight to hopefully send you off to sleep. So, this is my very first close-up live-action 360 ASMR video. And it's a big experiment, so tell me your thoughts and any other things you'd like to see me do in the future with this technology, and I hope you enjoy it. So let's get started. Okay. So, just got a nice, soft, really soft, fluffy little brush. And I'm just going to very gently brush your face with the soft bristles. Just like I would in a traditional ASMR video, but this time you can look all around you. This is definitely a new experience for me to be able to do 360 video and be this close. I'm really excited about how hopefully it's going to turn out. So I hope you guys like it. Again, I know it's not the most dynamite quality you've ever seen, but it's still a really cool new way to do immersive ASMR, I think. When we did the keys video, when Heather and Maria and I did the keys 360 video, it was a really interesting experience and a good learning experience, but I think we were all a little surprised when the camera guy showed us where, in relation to the camera rig, we could stand. Because we're all so used to getting really close to our cameras for our videos. Because that's really the nature of what we do on our channels. I'm gonna walk around you now. And so when they showed us the marks we had to stand on and how far away the microphone kind of was, kind of looked at each other. Like, how are we gonna do this? How are we going to make this as relaxing as we want it to be, tingly as we want it to be, while we're standing like 4 feet away from the camera? So that was a challenge, and after that experience, we all agreed that future ASMR 360 endeavors would really need to have some kind of setup that allowed us to get closer. And I know with this one I still kind of look a little like warped, kind of fish-eyed almost. But I'm still really excited to play around with this. Okay, I'm going to grab another brush, do a little bit more lens brushing, and then we'll move on to the next trigger. I just got this brush the other day. It's an inexpensive brand, the Elf brand, and it's a kabuki face brush, and it's awesome. It's so soft. I've just been using this to put on my powder foundation. I love it. It's kind of stiffer than the other one. It still has some give. It kind of reminds me, I don't know, of like a little puff. Like, I don't know, those cartoon puffs that you see women putting powder on their nose with, where they go puff, puff, puff. So I'll do a little puff sound with this. How about that? Puff, 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 puff. I actually have to be careful with this brush because it wants to kind of push the camera, and that makes it shake, and that'll make everything bad. Puff, 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 puff. Puff, 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 puff. Puff, 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 puff. I'll puff your ears a little bit. It's a weird sentence. Puff, 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 puff. Puff, 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 puff. Puff, 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 puff. Puff, 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 puff. Maybe puff is the new stipple. We'll see, maybe. Puff, 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 puff. Puff, 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 puff. Puff, puff, puff. Puff, 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 puff. Okay. Let's move on now. Going to grab my sage stick and some matches and light it. You may remember this smudging stick from my herb shop roleplay recently. Excuse that airplane. Yeah, I only burned a little bit of it, so there's still a lot left, so I thought it might be cool to just do some smudging in a big circle around the 360 camera. I don't know how well you're going to be able to smell the smoke. I mean, see the smoke. See the smoke. Since we're on kind of a white background, but you might be able to see it. It's pretty thick smoke. I said smell because I was remembering that when I shot that video and I lit this, my whole studio for another couple of days just smelled like weed. This really kind of smells like weed to me. A little bit. So it's a little incriminating. If someone had just walked in and they didn't know what they were smelling. Okay. So I'm gonna light this. Here we go. Really hope my smoke alarm doesn't go up. The entire time I was doing the smudging scene in my herb shop roleplay, I was just praying that my smoke alarm didn't start beeping. Okay, that's pretty good. Yep, there's that smell. Okay. It is so strong. Before that video, I had actually never burned sage before. This is white sage. I don't know if they smell different, but I'd never done it before, so I had no idea what to expect. Okay, I'm just gonna walk around in a circle. Feel free to follow me or look wherever you like. Hopefully this is somewhat visible, even though it's a light background. I'll just say I'm blessing my new camera. That's what I'm doing. So after this little scene, I'm probably gonna have to cut so that I can leave, go put this out, and then come back, because I can't just let it burn for the rest of my video. I might die. I have no idea how this is gonna look. I have not tested this this on my 360 camera yet, so hopefully it's good, but we'll find out together, I guess. Okay. I'll do one more little kind of roundabout. Before putting this out and moving on to our next trigger. That didn't work. I was trying to blow the smoke with my words. Trigger. That kind of worked. Okay. I'm gonna go put this out and then cut back with our next trigger item. Okay. Now that it's just super smoky in here, this isn't anything super special. I just saw this at the store. I think it's a Super Bowl themed koozie thingy. And I just love the sound of it. So, grabbed it. It's like $2. I put a little bottle in it. Some water so you can get kind of a mix of sounds. Got the scratchy, kind of crinkly with some slushy water sounds. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I don't think I like the smell of sage very much. Because now my whole studio smells like it. I don't think I like it. Oh well. Just gonna have to air it out. Okay, I'm gonna cut again now. Move on to the next trigger, which is going to be a very experimental one. Hopefully you like it. I think it's fun, but we'll see. So I'm gonna do that now. Okay, so as you can see, if you look down, I have spread around my tripod on a little plastic tarp. I've spread some crunchy material. I'm debating whether or not I want to tell you what this is that I'm walking on. But I'm going to just kind of walk in a circle slowly and softly to create a nice kind of crunching effect. This is really just a sound trigger. Not really going to be doing anything directly with the camera, but this is hopefully something that's still cool visually while providing a nice crunchy sound trigger. So what I'm walking on is something you can get at a pet store. It can be used as like a cat litter if you want, or I think bedding. It can be used for bedding for little rodents, but I think this one is technically packaged as a cat litter. And it's like little like wood pellets, like wood chip pellets. And they're kind of soft and crackly. And to achieve kind of a, I don't know, more diverse sound profile, if you will, we mixed in some kind of just a different kind of wood chips. It's more like shavings almost. This is such a weird video. But yeah, just I was concerned that just the pellets on their own would be maybe too harsh of a sound, so I wanted to kind of soften it with the more powdery, grainy stuff. I'm gonna do some like little steps now. Hopefully this counts as steps on my Fitbit trigger. When I was about 10, I twisted my ankle really badly. I'll tell you the story. It was the last day of 5th grade, and we weren't really doing anything. It was kind of the end of the day, right before summer vacation started. And I, for the whole year, had had a huge crush on this boy in my class. His name was Trace. He was super cute and super nice. I had a big crush on him, and I didn't really tell him or do anything about it because, you know, I was 10 years old at the time. And a few of my friends, my girlfriends, knew that I liked Trace. And so they were trying to get me to tell him, I guess, confess my 10-year-old love for some reason. And I was feeling brave because it was the last day of school and I wasn't going to see him for the whole summer. So I decided I was just going to just do it, just tell him I had a crush on him. And I don't really know what I wanted as an outcome, like what I expected. You know how much of a dating life can you have at 10 years old? Although, if I remember right, for a little bit of 5th grade, I think I did have a little boyfriend for a bit. Was this all in 5th grade? Yeah, it was. Yeah, I did have a boyfriend for a minute. We said we were boyfriend and girlfriend and then just mostly never talked. Which is what you do when you're 10. His name was Colin. Anyway, so I got up the courage to go tell Trace how I felt about him. And then, I can't remember the exact order of how things went, but I approached him. He was in another part of the school. Me and my friends approached him, and I was feeling very brave, and as soon as I got up to him and I saw him with his other friends, I completely lost my nerve, and I must have looked like a psycho, because I kind of started to approach him and then just booked it. Just turned and just ran as fast as my little 10-year-old legs could carry me. See, I just bolted. And I was barefoot at the time for some reason. I just wasn't wearing shoes because we were just hanging out. And I just ran and ran. I didn't really know where I was going. I just ran through my elementary school. And luckily, no one saw this because I was far away from Trace and the others at this point, but I really badly twisted my ankle and almost fell. But that stopped me. And I think that was the last time I ever saw Trace. I think I might have spoken to him again a few years later, like when I was a teenager, but lost track of it. The point of this story is to tell you that when I walk, I almost, like every second or third step, I have a little crack in my foot ever since then. And I don't know if it's related, but I think it must be because it never happened before that, but it's happened for the rest of my life since that event. There it goes. And I'm telling you this because you generally don't see me walking or standing in videos, so you don't hear the foot crack, but it is just a part of my life. And now you can hear it. And now you know the story of why it happens. I'm going to move on to our next trigger. Okay, Hopefully you guys liked that. If not, I'm sorry. Just trying new things. So now, just gonna do some good old-fashioned follow the light. This is just a really cheap little plastic flashlight keychain. In my Miss Miracle series, there was some flashlight action going on. Some people felt that the light was a little too bright, so I'm trying this little guy. It's bright, but I don't think it's quite as intense. It shouldn't create quite the same intense lens flare that the other one was. Hopefully not. Let me know how this works for you. Hopefully it's a little less intense on your little eyes. I'll do some okay good along with this one. People seem to like that. Okay, good. Okay, good. Very good. Okay, good. Okay, good. Okay, good. Okay, good. Okay, I think I'll do a little countdown now. Just slowly from 20, and then that'll be it. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this special new video. Let me know your thoughts, please, in the comments. What you liked, what you didn't like, ideas for future videos, etc. So let's go. 20. 19. 18. 17. 16. 15. 14. 13. 12. 11. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. as always, I wish you restful sleep